What's good, brothers and sisters? BadBoyD here. And just a few months ago, I turned 4 years sober. 4 long years. And they've actually been the most productive, best years of my life, and many more to come. Today I want to discuss with you the strategies to overcome addiction and how I defeated alcoholism. Stay tuned. BadBoyD TV. I'm not going to go over the full story as to how I became sober, because it's a long one. But basically, I just started living on my own, had my own apartment, I had no responsibility, no parents. So, I just partied and drank every night. And eventually, that partying and drinking became a full-blown habit because my body became accustomed to the booze and became addicted to it. You can't drink every day. Drink in excess, especially every day. Your body will become more tolerant to the booze, and it'll become physically dependent on the booze. I've always been into health and nutrition, so that did kind of keep me functioning, considering I worked full time during my drinking days. But once I hit around the 8, 9, 10 year mark, especially when I turned my late 20s, 30, that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. I wasn't eating healthy anymore. I was eating pizza. I was drinking sherry just to save money. And I was starting to get in trouble at work. And I finally decided enough is enough. Time to get sober. Interventions and stuff like that don't work, by the way, people. You have to encourage and just tell people that you love them and that you want better for them. But interventions and confronting the addict doesn't help at all. They have to decide for themselves that yes, I have a problem. Yes, I require getting better. The best thing you can do is just tell them you love them and say, you got this. I know you're gonna change. You're gonna do better. You got this. So I ended up going to detox and rehab. I did my homework first, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos that showed me that gave me a perspective of other addicts' experiences and how they overcame their substance abuse problem. And the one thing that I took away from it that I'm so glad I did was that you have to get it through your head. You can't go back. You can't even have one beer or one bump or whatever the substance of your choice is. You have to program into your brain that does not exist anymore. So for me, drinking booze was no longer an option. It was life or death. You have to put that through your head. If I'm gonna make this decision to get better, it's gotta be the end of it. No more booze for the rest of my life. The way I kind of looked at it is drinking and substances that you enjoy that aren't good for you are a privilege, and I abused my privilege. I capped off my lifetime allowance for booze, and now it's no longer allowed. And this applies to any substance. Once you decide to stop, that's it. There's no going back, ever. You have to get that through your head. And also, what helped me a lot was getting on a proper exercise program, getting back on my healthy diet, getting in a routine, and no matter how bad things got, just remembering how it would be 100 times worse if I were still a drinker, or if you are still using a substance. Life is so much better when you're sober. And one of the few things that actually, it takes a lot for comments and stuff to get under my skin, but one or two comments that really got under my skin here on this platform that actually bothered me was somebody accused me of looking like I'm high and being on drugs in my video. And that did really bother me. At first I didn't quite know why, but the reasons are pretty obvious. The fact that I do live such a clean lifestyle, and someone has the nerve to accuse me of being a drug user. But then when I thought about it, besides the fact, fuck what they think, and fuck what other people think of you, is that if I am so high on life that people think I'm fucked up, that I'm hopped up on something, that's pretty awesome. Because I'm so exuberantly, lively happy, they think that there has to be a substance behind it. That is great. Because it's not like I'm paying shit for it, besides the healthy food that makes me feel happy. I guess my dope is beef, spinach, and goji berries. And by far, the most important factor, folks, is getting on the self-improvement and learning to love yourself. Because when you love yourself and you're striving to be a better person every day, you will not allow drugs and alcohol to ruin your life. Personally, I never went to AA. I did when I was in rehab. However, I'm not discouraging you from going to a thing like AA or a support group. I just personally didn't feel like I required it. I'm not a needy person. If you are the type of person that always partied with a lot of people, or had that social group like the Cheers bar where everybody knows your name, AA and NA can be extremely beneficial. I didn't feel I required that, and clearly I didn't, because I'm perfectly fine without it. But I'm not discouraging you from going to such a place. It can be extremely helpful. But yeah, self-improvement, the most important tool for maintaining sobriety. Knowing that the Most High Father is looking out for you, and you're one of His children, one of His important children, and He only wants the best for you. It's not actually my faith that got me to sobriety. I wasn't faithful at all, and it wasn't my faith that kept me sober, but it was my sobriety that made me faithful eventually. It's actually quite recent for me that I became a faithful person in the Most High Father. And I truly believe He was working on me without me knowing it. And now I'm showing Him my gratitude and my appreciation. I'm sure I've left a lot of things out in this video of my 4-year sobriety journey and tips for you. I'm sure I'll make a part 2 and 3 eventually. Feel free to leave comments of what you'd like me to discuss on this topic. But that's the most important thing. When quitting any addiction, you just gotta make sure it's not an option. It's eliminated. You cannot have it, no matter what. You have to make that life decision. There's no going back, because if you do, it'll be the death of you. Thank you for watching BadBoyD TV. Check out one of my latest videos right here, and another cool one right there, and subscribe to my channel right there. I'm out of here. Peace.